Okay, so do we all have this document open on your screen here? Give me some indication here. Yes, all right, very nice. All right, anybody having trouble opening it up, or are we good? Okay. All right, so basically what you're looking at here is you're going to be indicating on this page whether each one of these UI or user interface terms is a command or a group, right? And then you're going to tell me what tab or group it's under, and or group it's under, okay? So let's do the first couple together, and then I'm going to let you guys finish it out, and then we'll cover it before you guys leave the live session today. All right. All right, so one thing you're going to see when you get into Office 365 is it's probably going to look like this. All right, so you're going to have just kind of a limited view here. If you click this down arrow right here, you can open up all the ribbons that you have there and kind of open that up to see more features and tool sets you have. All right, so this arrow over here allows you to open that up. Okay. Answer your question, Nick? Okay, gotcha. Very nice. Okay, so what we're going to do is just going to go through this and just make sure you can identify some of the features of Word here, and that's essentially what these first couple of activities are going to be. Can you identify where these things are at, right? And when you think about assessments in the class and your certifications and things like that, this is kind of the basic question they're going to ask you. Where is this at? What menu do you have to go to find this? What group is this in? And all that, right? So you kind of have your ribbons up here, right? And then they are separated into tabs and groups, all right? So of course, tab up here at the top, and then you have groups right here. Now, one thing I do want you guys to notice is to get table design and table layout to pop up, of course, you have to click in the table itself. All right, those aren't going to show up unless you're clicking down here. All right, so justify, just to kind of give you an example here. So if I look up here, justify is an alignment setting. All right, and when you think about commands and groups, a command is going to be something that you click on to tell Word what to do, and a group is obviously going to be a group of tools that are similar in function. All right, so justify is going to be a command. All right, if you look right here under paragraph, right there it is, and that is an alignment setting. So I'm going to go ahead and put command here. All right, and then the tab and group, it's under the home tab, and it's in the paragraph group. All right, so I'm going to put home and then paragraph. Okay. And this activity is it's just as simple as that. Going through, looking at some of these features, right? Feedback is going to be another good one here. So if we look up here at the top, under the Help tab, you have your feedback option here. Okay, so that's going to be another command because we're clicking that to tell Word to do something, right? So we'll do command. The tab is going to be Help, and then our group is going to be Help as well, right? So we go to the Help tab and go in the Help group. Right? So remember, your group name is going to be down here, and then of course all the functions within that group will be right up above it. Okay. Font, we'll go ahead and do that one time here so you can kind of see the other side of the coin here. So under Home, you have the font group. All right. So this font is not a command that you tell Word. Now, if we're talking about actually changing a font name or font size or something like that, of course that would be. But just regular font is definitely going to be a group, right? And again, that one's going to be under Home, right? And because it's a group, you don't have to put the group name here again, okay? Because we already got it right here. The group name is font. Okay, so any questions about how you should complete this activity? Pretty straightforward, right? Okay. So what I want you guys to do now, this is one we want to do in class. I'm going to give you guys about, we'll start with 5 minutes. All right. That shouldn't be too much of a time demand for you to complete this. If you're still working after 5 minutes, I'll spot you a couple more minutes and we'll adjust accordingly. But I think 5 minutes will be fine. Of course, after that, we'll discuss it. This is one of those portions of the class where I like for you guys to talk a little bit. So after you guys complete this, then I want one of you guys to present and kind of go over what you found, and then we'll talk about it. Just very briefly. And of course, if you agree to do that, then I'll spot you an extra credit point here or there. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start a stop timer here. And we'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to start off with to identify each one of these things. Remember to have the table design and layout options to pop up. Of course, you have to click in the table and those buttons will pop up for you. Okay. All right. So you got about 5 minutes. Work on this and we'll come back and talk about it after that 5 minutes is up. Of course, if you have any questions that you want to ask, just simply put those in the chat too, and I'll see if I can address those while you guys are working here. All right, very nice. And I'll share the timer tab with you so you know what's going on there. The tab where word count and all that is. Well, that's going to be, should be under your review tab there. Zoom, page numbers, and word count. Well, Zoom's going to be in a different spot. So Zoom's going to be under view, right? Page numbers, word count. Page number, you have a different tab there, and then word count's going to be a different tab as well. So those are going to, bottom tab is going to be grouped there, right? So you got 3 different kind of locations for each one of those things, Nick. Or Nick, are you using the desktop version of Word? Oh, okay. Well, I mean, there are adjustments at the bottom of the screen, I'm sure. But of course, you do have them up in the tabs too, and that's kind of what I want you to look at there. It should automatically tell you your words and all that down at the bottom. Yeah, definitely. But they are listed in the tabs as well. Yeah, that's what I want you to look at there. Okay, we got about 1 minute left. How many of you guys are going to need a little bit more time? Or do you think you'll be done in that 1 minute? It is perfectly fine if you need more time. Just got to let me know. Okay. All right. Sounds good. A few more minutes. We'll give you about, yeah, we'll do a few more, 3 more minutes. And then we'll go from there. Excellent. Thank you. Okay, so we got about a minute left here. Probably should have given you guys about 10 minutes or so. Okay, all right. Is there anybody still working on the document here? Or are we pretty much close to done? If we're close to done, we can go ahead and talk about it. Okay. Any volunteers here to tell us what you found? Remember, no pressure. You're just going over it. I'll talk probably more than you do. But I do want to give you a chance to present. I have extra credit. I want to give it out. I also have gold stars. I may mail you one. Nobody? All right, all right. Well, I'll take the hit for this one. All right, so we'll go ahead and go over this so you guys can have this completed. What I want you to think about here is if we do an activity in class, then of course we want to make sure that you know, you turn this in too. So you're getting a grade for doing this with me, right? So don't just think that, hey, we're covering it in class. You know, it's going to be kind of going to the wayside because it's something that, you know, may be considered notes or whatever. Okay. If you're going to do the work in class, I'm going to give you the grade, right? So let's go ahead and go over this. So table, all right. So that's going to be under the insert tab, right? And that's going to be a command, right? You're going to click that to create a table, right? So that's going to be a command. So we'll type in command. That's going to be under the insert tab and in the tables group there, right? Right. So just like was pointed out earlier, you have your zoom tool down here where you can zoom in and out, right? But that is also available for you up on the ribbon and within your tabs. So basically zoom is going to be under the view tab here, and then you have your zoom here, right? And you can adjust that accordingly. Now, of course, this is something you can click and tell Word to do something. So that's going to be a command. Right? And then it's going to be under the view tab and in the zoom group, right? I guess I should have been more clear about that button there. Zoom can be a command / a group as well. All right. Orientation, that is going to be under your layout tab here. All right. And if you look, that's going to be a command, right? So you can click that and then change your orientation of your document. So that's going to be a command, right? That's going to be under the layout tab and then in the page setup group. All right. I'll stop right there. We all good? We're getting this down? Give me an indication of some kind here. So I know you're not drooling all over your desk at this point.
We're good.
Okay, thank you. All right. Then we have reuse files. All right. And that is going to be under the insert tab, right? And you have it right here. So we have a group labeled reuse files, and we also have a command here. So it's going to be another one of those combos. So we got command and group. All right. And then it is under the insert tab. And it's going to be under the reuse files group. Right. Then we have your table style options. And of course, you got to click in the table to get this to pop up. So if you go to table design, and right here are your table styles. All right. And then here's all your options here. Okay. So that's going to be a command because you're going to be changing the table style there. All right. And the tab is going to be under table design. And then the group is going to be table styles. All right. Then we have page numbers. And if you go to insert, this is where you'll find that. Right here are your page numbers. That's something you can click and tell Word to do. So that's going to be another command. Spell command there. That's going to be under your insert tab. And then in the header and footer group. All right. And then lastly, you have word count. And again, that's going to be down at the bottom. You can see that right here. But it is also under the review tab. And right here's your word count. Right. And again, that's going to be something you can tell Word to do. So that's going to be a command. All right. It's going to be under the review tab and in the word count group. And technically, I guess you could say that, yeah, that could be a group as well because it's worded the same way. Okay. So any questions or concerns about this right here or this document or how to find these features? Okay. I'll take that as a no. So what I want you guys to do now is if you'll transition back over to Canvas, I want you to turn in this document to me. Now, of course, this is going to be a little different than last time. You're going to have to go to File, all right? And you're going to have to save this document and download it and then submit it on Canvas. So what you want to do first is go to File, Save As, and then just download a copy of your document. And you can download it as a PDF if you wanted. It doesn't really matter. Canvas is going to convert it to a readable format for me anyways. So you can pretty much download either one of these and you'll be good. So I'm going to go to download a copy. All right, and it's going to save it, and it's going to ask you if you want to download a copy of it. Click that button again. Of course, it should appear down here on your screen. All right, and go into your downloads folder, just like normal. And then I'm going to come over to Canvas. I'm going to share this tab here. And let me go to student view so you can see what I'm talking about here. Just so we're all clear about how to turn things in. All right, student view. All right, so I'm going to go to modules, scroll down to the L1 Word Commands activity. I'm going to click that submit button right here. Then I'm going to find that document and double click on it, and you should be good. All right, so you click submit, click choose file. Right? You should have a words commands worksheet in your downloads folder. You'll double click on that. It'll add it to the screen here, and then you'll click submit assignment again. And then you're good. Yay, and you get the confetti and all that stuff. Look at that, because you are a model student and you have completed an assignment the way you should, right? So any questions about that process for submitting a document on Canvas? Okay, so I'll give you guys a couple minutes to do that, and then we'll talk about the next activity we're going to do. The next activity you're going to do for homework tonight. All right, leave student view here. Modules. And then your homework for tonight would be groups of commands. 2 people have already submitted it. This is good. Okay. Just so we can cover this, because I know we're kind of running low on time here. So for homework, you're going to do the same thing, just a little more involved. All right. And one thing I want you to be aware of, the things that I have highlighted in yellow on this document, they're missing from Office 365. So if you're using Office 365, just know you're not going to be able to find these things here. All right. One thing I do want you to be aware of, you still have to do them though, all right? So go on Google, search, and just type in where is the shapes command on Word 2016 or whatever. And then of course, Google will tell you exactly where it's at, and you'll find 100,000 articles about how to use it, right? So yeah, you're still responsible for all of these, okay? So in the first column, we have the command name. So telling something or telling Word to do something. Then we have a ribbon tab. So which tab is it in, right? And then your group, which group is it located in? So tab, then group, all right? So that's what you're showing me there. And of course, will be your independent practice for this activity, okay? After you complete that, of course, you'll submit it just like you did your last one, and we'll be good to go, and I'll get that graded, okay? All right, so that's pretty much it for me. Any closing questions or anything before we wrap things up here? Questions about grades or anything?